What's going on, guys? Back up here at Grafton Archery, still continuing on with these bow reviews. I'm hoping to continue doing these daily. The little baby is almost here, and if that baby comes, it may push me off a few days on getting some more of these bow reviews to you. But today's review is something that, if you go back on my channel, each year I've tested this version of Hoyt's carbon bow, and this year is no different than last year. It's the Hoyt RX7 Ultra. All right, guys, so the RX7 Ultra, nothing changed. Same with the RX7, nothing changed from last year to this year. Both of these, the RX7 and the Ultra, did well enough last year that they decided not to revamp anything this year. With that being said, I would say the Ultra was probably the top selling bow, the top selling carbon bow last year by quite a bit, because it's such a smooth shooting bow. There is no doubting how smooth this bow draws, how well it shoots, lack of vibration. I mean, it's just a sweet bow. And it's in a weight range where it's long, it's got a big brace height, but it doesn't weigh a whole lot compared to other bows. So it's kind of in a sweet spot. There are some negatives about it, and there's a lot of things that I wish they would kind of tweak. But with that being said, there's a lot of things that I also do like about this bow, and I currently shoot this bow. Let's go ahead and jump on into some of the specs on this bow, and we'll go from there. So specs on the RX7 Ultra are going to be 34 inches axle to axle, 7-inch brace height. So it's a very long, well, not very long, it's a longer bow with a more generous brace height. So shootability is going to be really high on this bow. Weight, we got 4.3 pounds is what Hoyt says it weighs, excuse me. 4.9 pounds is what I actually got by holding it on the scale. Draw weight 30 to 80 pounds in 10-pound increments, just like the other Hoyts that we've tested so far. Speed 334, that's one thing I wish they could change on this bow. Draw length 27 to 32, that's another thing I wish they could change on this bow. Cam, HBX Pro Cam, same as the others, let off 80 to 85%, and it's going to come in 13 available colors. All right, so let's draw this thing back a few times and let you listen to it, and we'll talk about kind of what I think about this bow. And if you'll notice in this video, I'm back to a thumb release. I tried shooting that Spot Hog, I think it's the Wise guy. I tried shooting that release, and I just couldn't. I tried and tried and tried, and I just could not get comfortable with it. So back to the trusty Carter Wise choice for right now. So let's draw this bow back. God, guys, that is just so smooth. It's got some sponge in the back wall, but not bad. Let me let this bow down. Watch this. Really good valley. Really good valley. See, there's no noise on the back end. That's one thing I do like about the Hoyts. Probably I don't know, it's got to be one of the top 2 bows for vibration. Let me hold it tight on this one. I don't know, guys, that might be the top bow for vibration. It really might. Super smooth draw. Like I said, it does have a little bit of sponge, and I don't know if it's because I'm used to it, it could be, but I like this string angle on this bow. And this bow is super quiet. So let me grab my arrows, shoot it a few more times, and then we'll talk about it. All right. Man, this thing's so smooth. All right, this is the last shot. Just really pay attention to the noise on this bow. This thing is a shooter, guys, I'm telling you. All right, so let's talk about how I scored this bow, and then I'll go into why I gave it the scores I did. All right, so for shootability, I've got this bow at a 9. Tunability, I've got this bow at a 5. Draw cycle, I've got it at an 8. Back wall, I've got it at a 6. A little bit of a sponge to it. Balance, I've got this bow at a 7. Weight, we're giving it an 8. It's a lightweight bow to be the size that it is. Speed, we're gonna give it a 5. Noise, we're gonna give it a 7. Vibration, we're giving this bow an 8. And then fit and finish, we're giving it a 9. All right, so that's gonna be a total of 72 points. And then this really hurts this bow, and that's gonna be price for our bonus points. That's gonna give us a total of 75. So right now we've got 2 bows tied for second. We got still the VTM 34 on top with total score. All right, so let's talk about a few of these. Actually, before we do, let's talk about speeds, because that's gonna kind of tie into what I'm gonna talk about over here. All right, so I shot this bow, same as the other, 70 pounds, 350, 425, and 513 grain arrow. 27-inch draw, 28.5-inch draw, and 30-inch draw. There's a few things that I'm gonna talk about here. So, 27-inch draw, 350 grain arrow, we got 278. 28.5, we got 298. 30, we got 318. 425, we got 252, 265, and 295. And then with a 513 grain arrow, we got 234, 242, and 266. So let me talk about a few things here that's gonna kind of tie in together. So at a 27-inch draw and the VTM, I wanna say, if I can remember right, actually let me pull it up on my phone and I'll tell you, but I think we were in like the 290 range, somewhere like that. Let's see what we got. Right here we had the VTM 34, yeah, we had 290 on the dot. So I'm gonna read out just the numbers here. So 278 on the VTM 34, we got 290. Here we had 278 and 290 on top. You got at 28.5, we had 298. 28.5 on the VTM, I had 315. And then 30 inches on the Ultra, I had 318, and then 30 inches on the VTM 34, I had 323. So why I wanted to tell you all that is this bow is kind of, because of the way the bow lays out, the axle to axle, the brace height, the draw lengths are more geared towards your longer draw length kind of guys. The guys like me with a 27.5-inch draw, you're really gonna suffer on the speed. The VTM gave you 290 at the same thing that this gives you 278. So you're talking 12 feet a second difference. That's pretty big at such a short draw length. With that being said, at the top, at 30 inches, we were only, what, 5 feet a second difference. So you can kind of see where these bows kind of peak out. Their highest performance is at their longest draw length setting. So 28.5, the reason why we had such a fast speed at 28.5 on the VTM 34 is because that's where that 2-base mod maxes out. So this one isn't quite maxed out. I think it maxes out roughly around 29, I believe. I can tell you. think it's like 29 or 29 and a half. Actually, yeah. So actually this bow maxes out at 30 inches on the number 2 mod, and that's why this bow shoots so slow at the shorter draw lengths. Hoyt used to have a 1, a 2, and a 3. I wish they would go back to that, because like on my Spider 34, I'm shooting a lot faster than I am on my Carbon Ultra, which kind of sucks, but the draw cycle is just so smooth on this Ultra, it makes it worth it to me. All right, so let's talk about why I gave this bow these scores. So shootability, like I said, 34 inches axle to axle, 7-inch brace height. It's gonna be a very shootable bow. Tunability, still giving this bow a 5, because Hoyt still, like with all the other ones this year, they're not offering anything as far as tuning this bow other than twisting your strings and cables and shimming your cams, which I actually had to shim both of my cams to the right to get my bow to tune with my setup. Draw cycle, giving this bow an 8. The draw cycle is just ridiculous on these bows. It is so smooth. I love the draw cycle. Back wall, giving it a 6, because it does have some sponge to it. It's not bad, but it is a little bit spongy. I think that has to do with the brace height, the axle to axle, just the layout of this bow kind of lends itself to a little bit of sponge on the back wall. Balance, giving this bow a 7. It balances really well in my hand. It doesn't want to fall forward, doesn't want to lean back, doesn't want to go side to side. It just kind of sits there, and I really like the way it balances. Weight, giving this bow an 8. For a bow this size, it's night and day. Like, you can hold this bow and completely tell a difference. From any of the other bows that's even close to this length, axle to axle, you can tell a big difference in the weight of this bow. Speed. That is the Achilles heel of this bow, at least at the shorter draw lengths, is speed. So we're giving it a 5. Noise, giving this bow a 7. This bow I shot beside of the Omnia, I shot beside of the Matthews, Phase 433. And this bow, I shot all 3 of those bows just 10 minutes ago. And between the 3, I was kind of worried, because I keep getting a lot of flack back from my review of the Omnia, but then I shot the Omnia at 60 pounds compared to compared to the Ultra at 70 and the Phase 4 at 70, and the Omnia was definitely louder. I mean, I don't know what to say. I know people keep saying that it's just the bow that we got here in the shop. I don't get that. Everything's tight, everything's tuned. I don't know. But either way, this bow was just ever so slightly behind the noise that I heard audibly in my ears from the Phase 4. So noise, we're giving it a 7. Vibration, there's just very minimal vibration on this bow initially on the shot, and then just ever so slightly. If you're not gripping the bow, you can't even tell it's vibrating. And then fit and finish, once again on the Hoyts, I think they got it like a 9 fit and finish. Not quite as good as the Matthews, but pretty dang close. So, like I said, total score 72, bonus points 3, because it is an expensive bow. One of the most expensive bows that we're testing this year, and then that gives us a total of a 75. So, appreciate you watching, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this. This is the bow that I'm still shooting this year, but like I said, it didn't score the top so far in our test. So that kind of speaks to the improvements that right now the Hoyt VTM 34 has been my highest scoring bow by just a couple points, and the Matthews Phase 433 tied with this bow at 75 points. If there's anything you guys want to see, please let me know. Just know that I keep getting, people keep talking about the chronograph. Guys, I don't get it. I don't know what else to do. I've shot them outside in that chronograph. I've shot them inside in that chronograph. I brought my chronograph from home, shot it outside, shot it inside, shot it high in the chronograph, low in the chronograph, under different lights. I've tested these things. The likelihood that I have 2 chronographs that are bad, I just don't see it. Maybe you guys do. I've already had a couple guys that just pretty much chewing me out because of the speeds that I'm getting on these bows. But I can't help it, guys. At least if it's slow, all these bows are gonna read slow because they're all tested through the same chronograph. So just take that for what it's worth, guys. You might get something completely different out of yours. Though, don't take my opinion on all these bows. Maybe take some things out of it that you want to, and then go to the shop or come up here to this shop, shoot them for yourself, and just see what you get out of it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching these videos. If you have any questions about archery related stuff, either comment down below. That really helps my channel, or call these guys up here at Grafton at 704-855-1300. They'll be more than happy to help you. And with that being said, guys, please like and subscribe, and remember to live your life to the fullest and use your passions to bless others. We'll catch you on the next video in the series.